Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Ewell. I graduated in 2018 from Mines in the graduate program, the Engineering and Technology Management program. So I actually did my undergrad at Colorado State in civil engineering and then went to Mines for grad school. My current job is at Slalom Consulting here in Denver, and my current role is a senior consultant in our strategy and operations group within our business advisory practice. Great question, because a lot of times when people say they do consulting or business consulting, it nobody really knows what that means, and at some point, sometimes I don't even know what that means. But Slalom, I guess I'll give a background first on Slalom. So Slalom is a global business and technology consulting firm. So what that means is we do anything from business strategy creation to technology adoption to technology implementation to data and analytics, so machine learning, artificial intelligence. We also do a lot of cloud migration, Salesforce work, user experience design as well. So really, when you think about any challenge or problem that a business has, Slalom can most likely play in that space. So specifically for me, being in the strategy and operations side of our business advisory practice, I focus on specific capabilities to solve clients' challenges around process improvement, operating model design, strategic planning, intelligent automation, process mining. So those are the core areas that I focus in. But as I mentioned, we typically have engagements that are spanning multiple different capabilities to bring those fully baked solutions for our clients. Something that I love about consulting is you're on an engagement for, say, 8 to 10 weeks, maybe is about our average. And you're really in the weeds solving a specific problem with a client. And then you get to transition to a whole new client or a whole new industry and learn, those set of challenges, which I find really exciting and fun, especially in my early part of my career. This is something I wish I had more insight into as an undergrad, specifically of just all the different ways that an engineer can go, whether that's staying within engineering or doing something completely different. So the reason I wanted to go into civil engineering in undergrad was I wanted to design sports stadiums. That was my vision and goals. I wanted to kind of marry my love for sports. I played lacrosse at Colorado State, but also the engineering construction side of it as well. So that was my goal. And then I think it was like halfway through junior year, I took a steel and concrete design class, and I did not enjoy that. So I actually pivoted to focus more on the water side of civil engineering. So after undergrad, I worked for a couple of years here in Denver for a small engineering design firm designing dams and reservoirs in the Rocky Mountain region. And well, that was a great experience. It was very technical, learned a ton. I was lacking abilities to interface with clients and take on more challenging strategic business type problems. And that's when I really started to explore consulting. And that's where I really learned about what business consulting is, what all the different problems are, what companies are out there that I could potentially work for. And so that's when I decided to go back to Mines in this ETM program to kind of retool myself to not just have an engineering background, but also get some business courses under my belt as well. And then after Mines, I went to work for Booz Allen Hamilton, which is a large government consulting company. And I supported the National Park Service in their asset management program. So that was really a great experience of blending, still working with a lot of engineers and working on construction related projects, but more from a business lens of doing process improvement, operating design, large program management as well. And then after Booz Allen, I was looking for experiences, one locally here in Denver, but also outside of the government public sector space. And so that's where I found Slalom. I've been looking at Slalom for a while and knew that they were a local based company and would provide opportunities to work across many different industries, in addition to the public sector, but also other industries as well. And so that's when I made the jump to Slalom. Yeah, great question. I think and I alluded to this in the beginning of consulting provides opportunities to very rapidly gain a lot of experience in many different industries, many different client problems, and also uh, provides you the opportunity to interact with very C-level and executive level people at your client. Whereas if you're working for like if you say you go work for an engineering design firm right out of college, you may be uh, isolated from the client. You may not be interacting at all with the client. You might just be the person in the back of the office, crunching the numbers, doing the design, putting together those calc packages and the overall deliverables, but not actually delivering them to the client. And so with consulting, it allows you to have that very rapid experience and also that client interaction. And this is exactly another thing that I wish I had more insight into and prioritized more during my undergrad years for sure. And then I really started to figure this out during graduate school. But networking was absolutely critical and huge for my ability to transition from a technical engineering background to this world of business consulting. And so number one, the thing I did the most was talking to my professors. So especially in graduate school, your classes are small, your cohort's smaller, you become more familiar and interact with your professors. So I would say go talk to your professors. They are very well connected. They know tons of people in almost every industry, and they are a huge resource that I think a lot of people don't take advantage of as much as they could. And then secondly, LinkedIn was huge, and it's been around for a while, but I really didn't start to take it seriously until graduate school. And I was messaging tons and tons of people on LinkedIn, you know, finding something interesting on their profile, trying to make an intro there. And that's how I actually landed my job at Booz Allen, was through LinkedIn, a complete cold call on LinkedIn. And I think one thing that's interesting is it probably took about 50 or so messages on LinkedIn before you got one hit. So it's definitely a long game, and you have to be very persistent. But who you know is definitely, if not the most important, it's very important in terms of progressing your career. I remember definitely being frustrating. I don't think I ended up graduating the ETM program with 3 job offers, but those job offers didn't come in until I think April of the spring semester. So up until that point, I was starting to get pretty nervous of trying to make this transition to business consulting, and I was debating like, well, should I just go and apply for a bunch of civil engineering jobs that I could probably get? So it's definitely a little bit of a nerve wracking approach there. But I think just staying focused, if this is something that you're truly interested in doing and wanting to make the move into a specific area, it's just reaching out to people. It takes a lot of persistence, but trying to make those personal connections any way you can and show genuine interest. Coming out of undergrad and even graduate school can be a little bit challenging in terms of really knowing what you value in terms of work and or what an organization can provide to you in terms of the culture and opportunities they give to you. I think as you start to get more experience in the work world, those things start to become more apparent to you. And specifically for me, with I have I have a family, 2 little kids, and being able to be home and uh, work locally here in Denver, not having to travel all the time, which is very typical in the consulting industry, was very important to me. And so Slalom provides that. We are a global company with offices in almost every large city in the U.S. and across the globe, but we operate in a local based model. So we typically we live and work within the Denver, Colorado area. So our clients are most of the time Denver based. And so that was really important to me, and it's allowed me to maintain that work life balance. Number one thing is just because you majored in engineering or a very technical degree doesn't mean that you necessarily have to stay in that field for the rest of your career. There's every engineering company has a business to run. It's a business to run. They have technology, they have data that they need to provide to the business in order to make decisions. And so there's so many different opportunities beyond just actual technical design work that are out there. And also I work with tons of engineers or people that have engineering backgrounds in the business world. And so trying not to have that limited view of what you're able to get into and accomplish is, I think, really critical. Second thing I would say is, in my experience, coming out of college and trying to work for typically a larger company, but an organization that can provide you with a lot of different experiences. And typically that's a large company can provide that more often than a smaller company. And so the reason being is to provide you with many different opportunities to learn something new. Like I know a lot of companies have rotational programs where you'll work in supply chain or you'll work in R&D. And I think those things are great where you can get different experiences. And then most importantly, you're meeting new people and as many people as possible. Wherever you do land at your first job out of school, I'd say just continue to have an open mindset, really try to meet as many people as you can, learn from people that are older than you, more experienced than you. And also, I know many people at Minds have a very entrepreneurial mindset and design focused mindset. And if you see a gap in whatever your organization or your customers are doing, then bring that gap up and voice it to your leaders and take initiative to address whatever those needs are. And that will go a long way.